Hi, and welcome to A Punk with Toys. My name is Lawrence, and today we're going to take a look at the Jada Street Fighter Cammy. And I just got these ones in. I'm really excited. I was super excited to see Cammy because I'm like, hey, come on. Someone needs to 3D print or do something to get us some trigger fingers for Cammy so she can fit with our G.I. Joes. But let's take a look at this and look at it as a Street Fighter, and we'll maybe do some action shots where they're fighting a couple of the other Street Fighters because I have a bunch of them. So anyway, taking a look at this figure, and there she is in the box. And as I've mentioned with all of these, I think this is really cool. These do a wonderful job. They created the arcade console, so you have your Street Fighter 2 console, again, the joysticks, the 6 buttons. Here you have your power functions, or power, and then you obviously have the heads, the hands, the figure. They look really good. All the figures are the same on the side of the box. And then on the back, we always have the figure there and then the wonderful cross-sell. So we have an idea of what we're getting. They're doing a lot of player twos. I'm assuming they'll eventually get through all the player twos because there is only so much you can reuse on these bodies with these bucks. So anyway, let's get to this figure. Let's take a look at it and go from there. But before we do, if you like this type of stuff, you like the Street Fighter 2 stuff that I've been giving you, please take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a Jada Street Fighter figure. Now let's go. Okay, figure is out of her plastic. We'll take a look at her, and I did take a quick look over, and it doesn't look like there's any reuse at all with Cammy. Even the legs, which I thought maybe the thighs were going to be the same, but Chun-Li has much thicker legs, so it doesn't even look like that is a reuse. So as always, we'll take a look at the accessories, and we'll start with this effect. Now this is for her foot, for her kick. Again, I am not a Street Fighter aficionado. I remember playing the game. I didn't play it a lot, and I remember when Cammy came out, but I don't know what her attack was. So once again, you have this really nice clear translucent up here, and then they get this nice yellow going through it, and then you're going to be able to put the foot right in there. Now this one does not have a spot, or doesn't come with a stand. It does look like it has a hole right there for it, so you can probably use one of your other ones, but I would assume either they completely missed it, which I don't know how you missed the stand, which is this stand right here, all right, where you can use that. And we have a whole bunch of these, so if you only have 2 figures fighting, it's probably not that big of a deal. But I don't know why they didn't do it, other than they think that she can use this on her own. She has 2 alternative hands. One is a more karate chop style. She has what looks to be some sort of knuckle dusters on her. I'm trying to bend that there. Some knuckle dusters, but they are just karate chop. And then here, same thing, but they're kind of like over chopped, which is not the exact same as Chun-Li has, but again, same detail. Good paint. It's just some red, along with, I guess her fingernails are painted too, so I guess they do hit it a little bit, right? I mean, yeah, the fingernails are painted, so that looks pretty good. And then she has one alternative head, which is the screaming head. The beret does not come off. She has her hair. Now, I would watch this because I know with my Chun-Li here, I had to glue this piece of hair on one of the figures that I had. It just popped right out, so you just have to hit it with a little bit of, super glue is what I used. But here you have her little upside down triangle. Her hair does, oh, look at that. It does move. And again, very pliable. So this is not going to be something that causes any problems or gets in the way. They've been really great with the pliability of most of their plastic or rubber. Looking at her eyes, really good there. Nice screaming. Again, you can see her teeth. You can see her tongue. And I think this looks awesome. All right, and all the way down to the rubber bands just holding the pigtails together. Now let's take a look at the figure. And of course, we're going to get the same articulation, but we always want to look at this stuff here. So quickly looking at the figure here, she has some camouflage right there on her face. I guess it's on that one too, but it's I guess it was harder to see. I didn't really notice it. Stands out more on this one, probably because she's not screaming. Right here, it seems like it's more at a, it looks like it's supposed to be more of a curvature. What is that right there? Nothing. All right. So she has like the camouflage there. She looks more like a whistling, a whistling face there. The hair is in 2 different spots, so it's not like they use the exact same hair. I like this head, to be honest. But you can see the nice hair underneath here. Again, paint looks good. These eyes look really nice, along with the eyebrows. All right, and then the same thing. Pigtails are going to twist. Very pliable, so we can move this head where it needs to be. Up on her chest, you're going to see the same upside down triangle. I don't know what that stands for, what that is, but I'm sure someone in the comments can tell me. She does have her gauntlets that go right into the gloves. This almost looks like the the Nintendo Power Glove, if you remember. Again, fingerless here. And as I'm looking, was I crazy thinking that maybe it's just the angle that those look like they're painted? These ones don't. So maybe it's just the... Maybe I was crazy thinking those were painted. Maybe they're not. On this hand, it almost looks like they are, but maybe it's just the way that it protrudes and the way the light hit it. But it doesn't look like it's a different color. I mean, I'm not crazy. Well, I might be. She has a camouflage down her legs. Kind of weird. Like, why don't you have something on your actual legs rather than wearing a leotard and having the camouflage? Right down to her boots, which have the nice little tie there. So they are tied up, and I think they look pretty good. All right. And it looks like she's wearing, I would assume, socks with it. So red, yellow, and green is pretty much what you're going to get on this figure. And she does have a pretty nice derriere, as you can see right here. So let's take a look at the articulation, as we always do. The head looks up there, and the head looks down. Obviously side to side. We've already looked at the pigtails. Now, okay, so her T-pose goes up right there. It kind of hides underneath the traps there. So, all right. Then she has her pinless double jointed elbows, bicep swivel, and you have your wrist. You have your wrist articulation. Same with over here. She does turn it side to side and moves up and down. So I guess she has something around the breast. All right. She can turn a little bit, but basically the waist is where you're going to get all the articulation. All right. So you're going to be able to get some really good poses. And since she has nothing on it, even though with this figure, there's not a lot that really impedes anything, she has absolutely nothing to cause any problems. All right. Her Jean-Claude Van Damme is absolutely perfect. Got some drop down hips. There's your thigh swivel. Double pinless knees. The boot cut is perfectly placed right there, so you don't even see a line. And then obviously her ankle rockers. All right. So no problems at all. Just like every single other Jada Street Fighter figure, they have found a way to knock these things out of the park. But the big question is she going to be able to kick? But let's pop off the head here. Head comes off nice and easy. I wonder if she fits with any other figures. Basically thinking Quarrel. Oh, okay. Pull off a pigtail. So the pigtails actually come off, which isn't really a surprise considering they twist. All right. So there she is with her angry face. Pop off the wrists. Nice and easy. Everything feels so good on this. It is one of those things where it's like, hey, every other company, why aren't you using this exact mold here? But can we actually get her in a kicking position with her effect So the boot looks like it goes in like so. And this will be interesting. How much knee bend do we need? So she can hold it with one hand or with one leg, no problem. Where if you look at her triple effect, there is no way you're using it without that stand. But let's say you have one of these and you want to use the stand right here. That's just going to kind of plug right in. So if she's kicking straighter, it does work. No problem. Again, we're going to have so many of these, and especially if you're buying, player twos, it all depends on how you want to display everything. Most people won't be displaying any type of figure with any type of player on one leg for too long, as they will end up falling unless you're using those awful things called stands. You know my feelings on stands if you've been following me long enough. So there you go. Let's get some pictures so we can wrap this up. And as always, usually the person we're reviewing beats up whoever they're fighting. Just seems to make a lot of sense, right? Is she taller? Is she the same height? Let's check this out. So, I get these figures in certain poses and then I don't want to change them. So looking at them, they look to be about the exact same height. So I don't really mind when figures are a little bit, they're not always the exact same height, because as someone who is standing at a full 5'4" on a great day, I know we're not all the same height. So let's wrap this up. Alright, so there you go. That is the Jada Street Fighter 2 Cammy figure, and I do think it's pretty good. Now, I did go downstairs and I grabbed my G.I. Joe Quarrel. This is the Walmart exclusive if anyone is interested. Unfortunately, the heads do not fit. But the issue is the peg on her neck peg is too big, so her head will fit on her, but it actually doesn't look good. But if you really wanted to, you could take Cammy, Dremel out the inside. I guess you could shave down the peg here, but I would rather Dremel something out. And then you'd be able to place Cammy's head on this Quarrel, and I think you actually would have a good looking, hey, this is Cammy when they're recruiting her, because look at those color schemes. They actually fit really nice together. So if you really want to do something like that, you could. But I don't know if people really want to do that. I don't know if people that are getting Street Fighter care that much to create that type of back lore, that story. So anyway, there you go. Cammy, I think she's awesome. Again, just another great Street Fighter figure. I do think that their paint has gotten better. That was some of the issues that I had in the early on. Some of the early ones that I had gotten, but I do think they're actually getting better. There's not much to this figure. It's $25, 2 hands, an extra head, and a blast or a foot effect for her kick. So anyway, if it's something you want, go pick it up. I'm going to get out of here, but please, you stayed this long. Take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification. Many of you don't realize how much that does just for the algorithm, YouTube, and us content creators that are creating this stuff. Now I'm going to get out of here. Please don't go anywhere. Up here is I'm going to leave you a Street Fighter 2 Jada figure review, and down here will be a playlist of all the Jada stuff that I've done. Take care.